Hello, wonderful humans. Welcome to Modern Day Campfire. Modern Day Campfire is a YouTube podcast where mental wellness meets creativity through soulful conversation, visual arts, and storytelling. We create a warm and honest space to explore emotion, share experience, and ignite healing. So, pull up a chair and let's gather around Modern Day Campfire. As you can see today, I am on my own. I'm not with my guests, and the main reason I'm doing this is I have some questions that I want to address, and here are the questions. These are the questions that I normally get asked when I am with my guest or when I interact with someone, and we are talking about what modern day campfire is. So I believe it is something that also you deserve to be answered for those people who haven't gotten the chance maybe to meet me in person or to interact with me. And I'm just hoping by the end of this conversation also, it's not going to be just about modern day campfire. It's gonna be about me as an individual, and may I be able to connect with you as an individual. And I do pray that you might also utilize the comment section. Just ask anything that you would want to know, what you would want to understand, and even if it is a form of appreciation, I will genuinely appreciate. So I will start, but before I start, also again, I just want to extend my gratitude to the the guests. Yeah, I've been able to host like 60 to 70 guests on the podcast, and that has been possible because of their willingness to support the growth of the channel. And also I want to thank my subscribers also. Yeah, Modern Day Campfire is at 1130 something as we are talking now subscribers, and that has been possible because of your kindness, I would say. And also I want to extend my thanks to the viewers, those people who are viewing, and also to the people who haven't met yet. I want to thank anyone who is trying to create awareness on mental health and many other things that plays a role in our self-growth as an individual and as a community. Thank you guys. So I will address the questions, and the first question is, who are you and what inspired you to start Modern Day Campfire? So who am I? This is a question that I wouldn't say I'm struggling with, but it is a question that I'm trying to lean more to. So as I will describe myself today, I would say Martin Sambia is someone who is trying to build a stronger connection with God. And this influence has been inspired by my unique experience in life. I was born and raised in Eldoret, and a family of 5 siblings, a mom and a dad. And the 5 siblings are our firstborn is a brother to me. Our firstborn is Wycliffe, secondborn Delvin, a lady, thirdborn Richard, a guy, and fourthborn and fifthborn is our, I don't know, I just felt happy, is twins. And it happens to be I and my sister, who is currently in Mombasa. We are twins, and I first came to Nairobi after my Form 4, and I did my high school in Kisii High, from 2016 to 2019. Then after that, I joined campus pursuing computer science, and in that journey is where I met art, and pursuing art is what led me to mental health. And I'm gonna explain further as we are going to, I'll be addressing these questions. Yeah, and that is how I met mental health. And the follow-up question was, what inspired you to start Modern Day Campfire? What inspired me to start Modern Day Campfire is, in this journey of life, as time went by, I just came to understand that we are in a different race, and there are people who start ahead and there are people who start far behind, and this far behind could be because of their financial struggles or illnesses such as chronic illnesses. And I came to understand the mental toll it plays in our productivity, and it affects how we show up differently. Not everyone is able today to show up the way I'm showing up today, maybe because of the gear, the awareness, also the environment limitations it plays. And I came to understand the role of mindset in our life. There are people who will start far behind, but because of their mindset, they will be able to even overtake the other people who are ahead, but with low mindset, I would say. And this takes us back to how healthy are you mentally. It is what plays role in your mental health. So the main reason I started Modern Day Campfire, I wanted to create awareness on mental health and also to normalize it to a point. Mental health will sound cool, because honestly speaking, mental health is not cool. And the main reason it's not cool, it's because the people who are in charge, we are not making it as interesting as possible. Look at dancing. Dancing is a cool thing. It plays a role in our mental health. Look at many things, comedy and everything, but mental health hasn't been pushed that much. Even if, like I do, I've been lately been watching movies on mental health, and yeah, like yeah, awareness is now being created, and I'm just happy to see people going through that path. Yeah. So without further ado, I hope I've answered the first question. The second question is, why the name Modern Day Campfire? What does it symbolize to you? So for me, Modern Day Campfire, like when you look at what campfire is and used to be, it's where it used to be a vulnerable moment for families, friends. This is where people could sing karaoke. This is where people could break the secrets that have been happening in their life, but because they were unable to meet physically, this is where maybe that used to happen. This is where most of the storytelling used to happen in Africa. Like I've had those cases whereby at night they will create a bonfire and surround it, and then storytelling will happen. So we are in a modern world where I can do that I can do that while I'm here, to someone who is in USA or abroad or Uganda, or just not the same physical scope I am in. So, and I can do that in a modern way. That includes microphone, lighting, good camera, and yeah, we can connect through that in a modern way. So that is why I decided to call it Modern Day Campfire. And the follow-up question was, what does it symbolize for you? For me, it just symbolizes establishing meaningful connections with strangers, because it is in a modern way. And also I feel like I have been vulnerable in this space, sometimes with myself. Sometimes I will be talking to a guest and I will just introspect my life based on what they're saying. And love. Yeah, let me take a sip of this. This is concoction. And uh, a while back, after coming from home, I guess it was in April. It was in April, yeah. I went home Eldoret to see my parents, and when I came back, I got sick. After getting sick, they were all like, when I was talking to my mom, she was like heavy on prepare concoction, prepare concoction. When I invited like three of my friends, all of them shared something. They all have hosted one, haven't hosted the two others, but all of them were heavy on concoction. They prepared for me concoction, and I was like, why do I always have to wait until maybe I'm sick is when I take this thing? Because I notice how they roll it head in my immunity, and it really played a role. So in that case, I don't have to wait to be sick for me to take concoction. This is gonna be my daily routine, and I'm gonna talk about the role also it is playing in my life as we go by. Look sweet, it ain't. So the next question is, what is your personal journey with mental wellness? My personal journey with mental wellness, I would say it is getting better, and I'm getting to understand myself more. And with mental wellness, it's just evidently showing how the role of fulfillment in a life of an individual, the way success can thrive in the world of fulfillment. So with my mental well, my with my mental, what is your personal journey with mental wellness? I will say it is getting better. I'm getting to, with fulfillment, I'm getting to value meaningful conversation. I'm getting to value meaningful relationship. I'm getting to value rest. I'm not feeling guilty lately when I'm taking rest. I'm valuing personal growth, striving to be a better person on a daily basis. And I'm also trying to work hard on myself. And working hard on myself implies self-care, drinking water, reading books, filling your subconscious mind with productful stuffs. And it doesn't have to be just mentally, also physically, emotionally, and all that. I hope I've answered that question. What is modern day campfire really about? As modern day campfire is really about the introduction, it's just as the introduction I made. And the introduction was modern day campfire is a YouTube podcast. Modern day campfire is a YouTube podcast. I hope that is clear. Where mental wellness meets creativity. Where mental wellness meets creativity. This is through soulful conversation, visual arts, and storytelling. We create a warm and honest space to to explore emotions, to share experiences, and also to ignite healing. So this is what modern day campfire is fully about. And maybe later maybe something will come, and I hope I will be wise enough to see it, and we will explore also that. But as we are talking at the moment, that is what modern day campfire basically do. And also we have like a department of modern day campfire media, where there we also try to give voices to those people who want a podcast, and maybe they don't have equipments, they don't have direction, they don't have maybe a mentor. That is where also modern day campfire media comes in. And yeah, about that we'll still talk about it, so don't worry. So the fifth question is, what kind of conversation or experiences do you want to create with podcast? So the type of conversation and experiences I just want to I just want to normalize humanity. And the conversation I want us to talk about is just understanding our role as humans on earth, which is, I feel like, is to love and to grow. And that is what the conversation I'm trying to bring here. I just want us to love one another. And that is what I always try to love my guests as much as I can. And the more I'm loving, the more I'm feeling better. Yeah. So just loving one. I just want a conversation whereby when someone leaves, there are podcasts which when I watch and when I'm done with them, I'm feeling motivated, I'm feeling fulfilled, I'm feeling inspired. I just want also to bring those podcasts. I want this modern day campfire to create an experience whereby by coming here, you won't complain about you struggling with your screen time. It will be a discipline, it will be a daily routine whereby it will be like a daily dose. So that is the conversation that and the experience I want to create for people, something impactful, inspiring, educative in many fields, and also talk about anything, relating mental health with anything. You've seen dancers here, you've seen artists, you've seen engineers, you've seen people in finance, you've seen people in creative world, you've seen teachers, you've seen doctors, you've seen psychologists, you've seen everyone. I just want to connect that with mental health and normalize that conversation to a point. Mental health will be a common and a cool thing. Yeah. So, who is this podcast for? Who do you hope is listening? I'm just dedicating this podcast to anyone who is starting their self-awareness journey, to anyone who is starting their self-awareness journey, to anyone who values connection, to anyone who is striving to be a better version of themselves, to anyone who want to be part of something bigger than themselves, to anyone who is struggling to find a meaning in life. This is what this podcast is dedicating to anyone who is in that journey, anyone who is struggling with self-awareness. Yeah. And I'm hoping that is the person who is watching at the moment. Yeah. So the next question is, what is this? Why use visual art as a tool for mental wellness? I would say I'm using visual art because this is where I kind of feel talented in. This is where I found meaning in life. This is where I found purpose. This is where I started my self-care routine with visual arts, and I've really explored that world. Because when I talk about someone who is wondering what is visual art is already this video. It's in form of a visual, already this painting. And yeah, big up to Denzel, also an artist from Artbeat. With his help, I have their artwork that I've collaborated with someone, and this one I did with Denzel. This one I did with Denzel. You can see paintings. You can see some of my video with a guitar. You can see in my channel I've created music, I've performed music, I've created poetry, I have performed poetry, I have painted, I have done some pencil work, some pencil drawings, I've painted bottles, I've worked on a mural. With that experience, I kind of and staying there for long, I kind of got talented to a point that I could see it in another perspective, that for some reason, like, people who are not talented in that path can't see it through. And that is why I started to use visual arts. And with visual arts also, as I talked about making mental health cool, visual art is playing that part in different ways. And I didn't have to, I was struggling with this. I wanted to create art that speak for mental health, suppression, oppression. But I came to notice, even to coming up with something aesthetic. This is a painting. Aesthetic. This paint does something to me that I really can't explain. So does this painting. This painting was about uh, the lady is naked, and when you see a naked picture, maybe the intention of the artist, some of the artists, it's like the erotic expression. But with this one, she's naked, but it's not erotic. You can feel the vulnerability. Yeah, you can just feel it. Yeah, so that was the whole idea of it, and many others. So for uh, that is why I decided to choose visual art, if that answers your question. So the next question is, what is the next question? Okay, the next question is, how has art helped you in your own mental health journey? Art has really played a lot in my mental health journey. When I was shifting towards art, when I was shifting towards art, something happened in my career, something that I'm not confident to talk about at the moment, but I will with time. And it was the time to give up in life. It is the time that I've seen people going to further extent, like even committing suicide or even disconnecting with the family fully. But I ended up here, and it was a productive distraction. It occupied my time, it occupied my thoughts, and it unraveled this part of me that I wasn't aware of. I started embracing creativity, and I came to notice I'm not this logical person. I'm this person who rely on intuition, and it has been magic, and I have never felt fulfilled ever in my life since I joined this journey, and it has been something that has played a role in my connection with people, with fulfillment, also with success. And yeah, that is that is it. So the next question is, what role does vulnerability play in healing and creativity? I see vulnerability as acknowledging your status or your level in life. I see vulnerability as acceptance. I see vulnerability as just exposing yourself and being ready for the consequences. And the question was, how do you how what role does vulnerability play in healing and creativity? So I feel like at the moment you are in a vulnerable place in life and putting all the things that I've mentioned, I feel like you kinda it's just a humility level that it allows you to now lean more on the growing part, at the moment you are ready for the consequences. I feel like at the moment you accept, at the moment you acknowledge, I feel like this is the starting point, and it happens to be also the stepping point for a better place in life, because by just being accepting all those and just being vulnerable, I feel like it's I've been in position whereby by just being vulnerable, it kills the ego, and it makes it easier for people to meet you at your level. And there is nothing amazing as that, when people meet you, or when you meet people in your level, like, it kind of strengthens the empathy. And yeah, yes, that is the role of vulnerability in our healing and creativity journey. How do you take care of your mental health as a creative person? How I take care of my mental health is valuing rest, understanding the impact of rest, and taking breaks, taking breaks, taking breaks. And when I talk about taking breaks, I came to understand that concept after interacting with the subject on stop doing more and start being more. And I came to notice what doing more can do to you, because it makes you busy. It doesn't give you time to stop and think if what you are doing or like, is it playing a role on who you're becoming? Is that what you want to be in the rest of your life? But being more happens when you just sit down, rest, and reflect. And I do that like it is my what I normally do on Sundays after going to church. Like, I'll just come and go through my videos I've created, the artwork I've painted, the people I've connected with, the achievements, small or big, that I have achieved in life. And that is where the inspiration comes from. When you don't do that, you'll just always feel as if you're not doing anything in your life, and you'll keep on pushing the goalposts, pushing the goalposts, pushing the goalposts, and you'll never be happy. So just taking, like, how did I took more rest to come up with it. I took more rest to come up with this. It took me more rest to come up with Modern Day Campfire. It took me, I've taken breaks. I've taken even a 2 month break. I People might not know this, but I've taken 2 months break in Modern Day Campfire. Modern Day Campfire, I started it in last year January, and it's been like we are in May, so it's been like a 1 year 5 month journey. But I've taken breaks, so maybe actively it is a 1 year journey. You feel me? Yeah. But with the breaks, I've been able to sit back and see what I should be grateful and where I should improve on. With breaks, you don't beat yourself. When you don't understand what rest is, you get to feel guilty when you do that. You feel like you are wasting time. Reading books. There are people who, like, because of work and many things, like, this one I'm talking to avid readers who are not reading books now because they feel like they're in this journey of busy life. But I came to notice even books saves you time. Sometimes I'll be reading a book and then an idea will spark. Sometimes I will just, Martin, you were supposed to read for 2 hours. You have to finish the 2 hours before you implement the idea. And sometimes I'll be like, hell no, I'll go work on the idea, then come back to the book. Sometimes I don't come back to the book soon enough, because with the idea, it compounds to another idea, another idea, another idea. And that is why sometimes you see those beautiful things that I create, I share with you. And yeah, I'm so proud of those things. It's things that I will still recreate them. So what does your process look like from planning to recording? I assume they're talking majorly on the Modern Day Campfire, which is a YouTube podcast. So it starts with making an agreement with the guests, obviously, and talking to the guests, having a small conversation. The questions that I normally ask is, what is your greatest goal at the moment? What are you very passionate about? And what are you currently pursuing at the moment? So with those questions is what enables me to come up with the best topic, because I always like a lot, like you've seen the guests I've hosted. These are guests who are very, very talented in their craft, which is normally defined with their purpose in life. So with that, I am able to come up with a topic that we will address. Then I will create some questions tailored from the topic, and we will get to have conversations on those topics. So when they come, we will take lunch, connect. Like, I prefer it when the guest is not in a hurry. I prefer it when the guest is not in a hurry, so that we can have like 1 hour of ourselves, just to, because I've had scenarios whereby a guest will come and we will do a video. Then after that, we get to connect and have a meaningful conversation, which is a cool thing. But sometimes I wish the audience would have been part of it. So in that case, I started working on this. Is another form of being more. We just don't have like to do it immediately. Being more, you come, we connect. After connecting, now we do the video. After that, we can connect again. But unapata when we connected more, the podcast turns out to be a very relational based podcast when I've connected more with my guests, because there are those guests who sometimes I'm meeting them for the first time. There are those who are my friends. We've worked on something together. Yeah, so that is how after recording, I always try to upload the video before the 24 hours, because I don't want to increase my workload. So after the recording, we will connect, show them off, then come back, do 1 2 3, get some inspiration here and there, and then start working on the video. After working on the video, I will share it with my guests and then share it with my audience, and then I will work on another video. Yeah, so that is how my creative process in Modern Day Campfire looks like. So what challenges have you faced creating this podcast, and how have you overcome them? I haven't overcome them. The challenges were, I reframed them as motivation. When I started, I didn't have a good camera. I didn't have a good voice recorder, lightings. Also, I didn't knew how to utilize the space. Most of them were outdoors, which was also an experience. Then I was so into picnic. Yeah, so I wanted to share that experience also with my audience, and it was quite an experience. And yeah, I will be doing that also oftenly. Yeah. So the challenges were weather. There are very restricted places in Nairobi. There are places you have to pay for. There are places that content creation isn't allowed, and those were the challenges. Sometimes also meeting with goons. Yeah, there was a time I lost my tripod stand. Yeah, on that. So those were the challenges. Now the bigger picture is that was I used this, like with those challenges, it kinda unraveled something, and that is why we are here today. And because of maybe a certain challenge I'm facing here today, it is why we will be in a better place in the next 2 weeks. So what I'm really struggling with is being able to organize and direct all this potential of modern day campfire in an intelligent manner. Modern day campfire, as I mentioned earlier, like the podcast, it's I will be, I guess this will be my 72 podcast, and I've hosted people from different fields, and this is a potential that just shows how modern day campfire is turning out to be a big thing. But I'm unable to I'm unable to look at modern day campfire as something beyond just a YouTube podcast. I want it to be more than that. I want it to be able to create community outreach. I want it to be beyond that. But I'm really struggling on that, and I'm seeking for help. And I'm just looking for mentors who will be able maybe to take me through or help me in ways or get opportunities that might open other doors, because with the potential that Modern Day Campfire has, it's something that it took me time to see, and I'm seeing it now. That potential is something beyond, like, I'm sitting on unlimited success, and it's just gonna be determined with the people I'm gonna host, with the people I'm gonna interact with the people I'm gonna, with the spaces I'm gonna be. And I'm becoming impatient, but yeah, I know I'm gonna get lucky, and lucky is when opportunity meets preparedness. I'm gonna interact with that opportunity when Modern Day Campfire is fully prepared for that, and there will be no going back. Yeah, hopefully. So, what challenges have you? Yeah, those are the challenges. So, this this segment is about looking forward. So, looking forward, what can listeners expect from the future episodes? So from the future episodes, first, I just want to guarantee you, we are gonna have more and more talented guests. It's gonna be a very good experience for each and every one of you. It's gonna be more educating, more inspiring, and also it's gonna be beyond this YouTube podcast thing. It's gonna be a community. It's gonna be events, it's gonna be outreach, it's gonna be something bigger than this. It's gonna be movies, it's gonna be music, it's gonna be documentaries, it's gonna be big things. Modern Day Campfire, it's gonna be big things, and it's gonna include many people. It's gonna impact many people in all areas, even financially. It's gonna be, because like, I'm still thinking, you've seen those people I've hosted. These are people who are very talented in their crafts, but them being in something, they are very even talented than I am. And these are the people who I'm gonna work with. I wanted to say employ. These are people who I'm gonna work with, and we are gonna benefit in unlimited ways, and they are also gonna benefit in unlimited way. And this is gonna be determined by how I am gonna organize and direct this knowledge in an intelligent manner, and that is what I'm working on currently. Sorry. Okay, so that is what listeners should be expecting. So do you plan to invite guests or keep it solo? Why? I'm gonna invite guests, and the reason is, like, I'm here to widen our perspective. Maybe I've when I talk to an artist, I get a different perspective. No, they all share common principle on mental health, and like people from different fields, the same principle, but it comes in a different point of view. And with this, being able to look at it from all those point of view, it kind of widens my perspective, and audience by take perspectives and also their perspective. So that is why I'm gonna host them more and more. But on my 100 video, I'm gonna come back and talk to you, and I'm gonna share with you the progress of how Modern Day Campfire has been, from where it started from to where it is, from this conversation to where it will be on my 100 video. Yeah, I should drink my concoction. It ain't sweet, trust me, but it is helpful. So what is your biggest hope for this podcast and the community around it? I think I've talked about it. My biggest hope is mental health is gonna be a common thing. It's gonna be a cool thing. Anyone will be able to talk about it on a depth level. It's gonna create awareness. It's gonna create impact. It's gonna, what was the question again? What is the biggest hope for the podcast and the community around it? It's gonna do all that, and for the podcast on its own, I'm just praying that it becomes something big that will be able to create this influence. Like, man, I wanna see everyone valuing fulfillment. I want us to go back to that world where we still believe that you can be successful and fulfilled. When you look at what is happening in the society, when you look at things like poverty, financial struggles, crime, these things are rooting from the urge for instant gratification. And instant gratification is just the opposite of delayed gratification. And the delayed gratification is it's defined by self-mastery. So when you look at the way this delayed gratification comes, like when you look at in the Bible, there was, I can't remember the verse or the story clearly, but there was a point whereby someone was obsessed with 7 demons. And when you look at these 7 demons, number 7 is symbolizes completeness in the Bible. So 7 demons, this person had 7 complete sins, and these 7 demons are things like greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, pride, name them. So just working on this thing, just getting better from this thing, it will create a mind shift that I really can't explain. We will start to see one another as humans, and we will start to love each other even more. And I feel like life will get better. Life is not better because someone is more greedy than the other person. Someone is more lazy than other people. Sloth is also, it's laziness. It's also part of the 7 deadly sin. Someone is more lustful than the other people. Someone has more pride than the other people. So I'm just trying to create this awareness where people can start working on themselves. And when we are working on ourselves, we are working on our greed level, our lust level, our pride level, our envy level, our gluttony level, our what else, our all those things. When we are working on that, it shifts our mindset. And mindsets only shift when we are mentally healthy. And this is why this is the biggest hope for this podcast, to be able to create that, to be able to create that world. Yeah. So what is your biggest hope for the podcast? I guess I've answered that. What is something most people don't know about you that influences this work? If you are paying attention to the conversation, I feel like it's something that I just can't explain it in 1, 2, 3 minutes. It's something that I can explain it by you just observing my work from day 1 to day 2. That is, you will know it. You will know it when you watch all the videos. It's something that I like. I wouldn't articulate it well, but it is something that I will also answer you when I go back and watch all the videos. Yeah, so you, by just watching all the videos, the bad videos, there are bad videos, there are very bad videos, and there are very good videos, and when I'm talking about bad videos, I'm saying maybe the sound was a problem, or the video, the visual wasn't okay, maybe the weather happened, maybe, yeah, then there are good videos. You will just understand. And what message will you give to someone struggling with their mental health right now? I will just advise you to stop doing more and start being more. And you start being more by taking breaks. Taking break, give yourself grace. By taking breaks, giving yourself grace, embracing gratitude. Trust me, if you just woke up today, you have every reason to be grateful. Stop comparing yourself with other people. Start comparing yourself with your progress. Where were you yesterday? Where are you today? Is it a +1? Is it a -10? And trust me, it's not easy. It takes a lot. But with break, having a better relationship with what rest is, starting to get rest without feeling guilty, yeah, that is where we begin. That is where most of my reflections and introspections happened. So the last question is, how can listeners support the podcast and be part of this campfire community? I do have a group, WhatsApp group, whereby I've hosts like I've everyone who have I have hosted is in the group. So that is a community that is coming up. So we will be having our first hangout in June, but we haven't settled on it. But yeah, that is our hangout. But for you, how you can support Modern Day Campfire is by helping me to share this information, by subscribing, by being a guest also. As long as, yeah, it's just about authenticity. It's not about you being it's just about authenticity. Just pick a field that you feel so talented in. And when I'm talking about talented, it doesn't have to be complex. I've hosted a lady who was having chronic illness, and it was diagnosed when she was 12 years old, and it's been a journey to who she is right now. She's at her early 20s. That experience of 10 years makes her the right person to talk about it. That is the talent I'm talking about. So it doesn't have to be complex. It's just about what do you feel so authentic in, and where do you feel like you can relate with people more. So it is open to anyone. And also I'm looking forward to work with bigger organizations, bigger, to be part of something bigger than myself and Modern Day Campfire. So that is how you can support Modern Day Campfire. And another question, I think I'm done with the questions, and I'm happy. I did this. It was the first time I was doing this, and I'm just looking forward for many more, and where Modern Day Campfire is heading, and also maybe how many people I'm going to meet. Maybe you are my next guest. So thank you for watching. Thank you for your never-ending support. And yeah, by just watching is enough. I can't ask more. That is all. Yeah, thank you.